That's a home run. I think the Knicks were advancing no matter who they had in this matchup, whether it would have been the Heat or the Sixers. Happens to be the Sixers. It won't be an easy series. If the Knicks handle their business, more than likely they will finish this series in 7 games. You have to have a great amount of respect for the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid. Obviously, if Embiid has any trouble, then, the Knicks will win in 5 maybe, or 6. But you have the higher seed. You win your home games. This is designed for the Knicks to be able to stumble once at home and go to Philadelphia and get a win, which is something that I think this team is more than capable of doing, something that I think Jalen Brunson is more than capable of doing, leading this team to victory, whether home or on the road. You'd like to think that the role players for the Knicks will all perform and overperform as they've done all season at home. And, with Bogdanovich, if he just plays to the back of his card 40% from 3, in this series it will be huge, especially on the road. He's the guy that on the road, younger players typically, role players, struggle on the road in the playoffs. I would expect and fully expect Dante DiVincenzo and Bogdanovich to be the reason why the Knicks don't slip on the road. At home, I do not envision the Knicks losing a home game, but if they do, then obviously they will have to win on the road. But again, you got the higher seed specifically so that you can go 4-0 at home and win this series in 7 games. And I think it's totally doable. Anyone who thinks otherwise, you probably just have a bias in favor of the Sixers, but I don't. The argument here is 2 things. Will the Knicks be able to disrupt Joel Embiid enough to keep him from controlling the game? With their pace on offense, I think the Knicks will disrupt Joel Embiid. I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with our pick and roll, with our high screens, with those situations that you have a guy like Hartenstein who really, he's playing that David Lee and I forget the other center that they had there in Golden State for a hot minute. He's playing that role really well, where he's getting the ball, 15 feet from the rim, and he's able to put it on the floor. He's able to put it in the hole. He's able to hit his guards or wings, whether they're on the corner or at the top. You would expect, again, with Joel Embiid having the very specific injury that he has, recovering right now. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't want to play too much into the fact that he's got the injury and he's injury prone, as much as I want to say he will be up for this series. And that's the thing. The Knicks can't go into this thinking that he's hobbled and there's some advantage. You need to go at him. Get him in foul trouble if you can. If not, at the very least, make him work. If you inserted Julius Randle into this series right now, I would say Knicks in 5, especially given the health status of Joel Embiid. And I would really, truly be confident in this team, the team that we saw for a few weeks in January. But we don't have that. But we do have OG Anunoby. And say what you will about Julius Randle. Huge fan of Julius. This team wouldn't be doing much of anything without OG Anunoby. Defensively, I think what he's going to be able to provide, again, especially on the road, it's going to keep this team right there. So, God forbid the Knicks do lose a home game, they will definitely be able to get a game back in Philly. Business as usual. You got Brunson in his second playoffs with the Knicks, his third consecutive playoffs, and he seems to be a playoff performer. You have a guy. And, when I think of Jalen Brunson, I think of Allen Iverson years ago, almost 23 years ago. That's what I see when I look at Jalen Brunson right now. I see a guy. When the Sixers went to the finals and were gentlemen swept by the Lakers in 5 games, their guy led them to the finals. And then they won game 1. And you could see it took everything in Allen Iverson to get that one game. Now, this Sixers team is not that Lakers team, and Brunson is not Iverson. If anything, you could argue maybe the Celtics in our conference right now is that Lakers team. You could argue that the Denver Nuggets, you could argue that, if the Lakers somehow get to the finals, they could still be that team. The team where when they step on the floor, it's theirs to lose. But when you have a guy, when I look at this Sixers-Knicks series, to me, Jalen Brunson right now, this is his moment. And I think we're going to come out of this series with Knicks fans saying Jalen Brunson proved that he is a number one, a 1A, and he's that guy. And if you're a Sixers fan, you'll come out of this series saying Embiid wasn't healthy. And as a Knicks fan, I don't give a shit. I just want to be able to say Brunson is that guy. And if we're able to say that, the Knicks are going on to round 2, where they will probably see Milwaukee. And you know what will happen in that series? The Knicks will wash those Bucks. And what will people say? Giannis was injured. And what will Knicks fans say? Jalen Brunson is that guy. And then we'll get on to the Celtics. And you know what will happen? The Knicks will lose in 6. And everyone will walk away from that series, Knicks fans, Celtics fans, and NBA fans, saying Jalen Brunson is now, and he is that guy. He's a top 10, top whatever you want in the NBA, top player. He should be first team All-NBA. He should be on the Olympic team. And next year, the Knicks will be one of the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference because they will retool and Jalen Brunson will be that guy. And he will be the all-star starter next year. And he will be probably a top 3 candidate for MVP again next year. And this present day till the next, 2-3 years will be his time to do the unthinkable with the Knicks.
Jumping that ravement just to look up. We gotta stay on 10 toes so they don't book us. And yeah, I got their ears now when I cook up. When we been winning so long, no way to overlook us. No.